What is up, my peeps, and welcome to another episode of If You Give a Dad a Cosplay. Now, I haven't had a couple episodes in a while. I've just been doing stuff, focusing on other things. So, I've been getting a lot of requests for something on TikTok and Instagram here lately. And that is a breakdown of the wall behind me. So, we're going to do that with this video. I'm going to break down which each weapon is, show you them, and all that. So you guys can know what my wall is, which weapons are which. There are some new ones, so that's going to be cool. Alright, so I'm going to stop right here. We'll switch the camera view, and we'll get into this. Okay, so here is my wall in its entirety right now. So there has been a few new things added, but we will go from the top and work our way over. So on the top, you have Inuyasha's sword, Tai Tiger. I got that a long ass time ago for Christmas from a good friend of mine. Next to that, you see the angel wings that I use for my original character. Next, underneath Tai Tiger is my first collapsible bow staff that I created for Nightwing. It actually comes apart, so it can be two different pieces of the Eskrima sticks, but I actually, since then, have gotten the real deal Eskrima sticks from my wife, so I use that more as decoration now. Underneath that is, of course, the Red Ranger's power sword. Next to it is the green dagger from Power Rangers also. And then going lower underneath the green dagger is a black handgun that I use for my original character, but I also use it for Joker from Persona 5, and I'm going to be using it in a Sword Art Online cosplay here soon. Speaking of Sword Art Online, you have Dark Repulsor on top. No, excuse me. Elucidator on top and Dark Repulsor on bottom. Next to that is Joker's dagger. And underneath it, you can see Asuna's rapier. And this little thing in here, I keep getting comments on how it's a Batman Beyond Batarang, when in actual reality, it is a wingding from Nightwing. So, if we pan back over here, you'll see we have the Master Sword hanging right there, my Luffy hat, and then here, I keep getting questions about this one. Now, this one is from Black Clover, and it is the Demon Slayer sword that Asa first gets. Now, I've handmade this one. This one is all made by me. It's made out of wood, staples, screws, you know, I was just carving it together. I did make it a little bit larger than I wanted to, so I think I'm actually going to trim it down a bit. And then on top of it sits my grimoire, which has the 5-leaf clover on it. That was actually drawn by my daughter Ruthie for me. So, going down from my SAO swords, you'll see this silver thing right here. This is actually a collapsible bow staff that I made for Gambit. It actually comes apart, so it looks like I make it collapse. Next to it, you can see up here, next to the angel wings, we have Joker's dagger. And then we have the power sword for He-Man, which I need to debut in an actual cosplay video. I just haven't done it yet. Sliding back over, this is just a wooden sword I got at a convention a while back, a Renaissance Festival actually, excuse me, and I've just used it for almost everything nowadays. Then, of course, I have Excalibur, the golden sword from Sword Art Online, and then this one is actually a dark representation of this blade, the Dark Repulsor, but I named it Dragon Fang. And if you want to know more about that, check out my fanfiction, Sword Art Online Dark Forest. Next to it, you see we have another new arrival, which is Kyrie's Keyblade. I recently got my wife. And then we have the Kingdom Key. And next to it is Oblivion. And yeah, that is my weapons wall, guys, as it is in its entirety. So yeah, there you have it. I mean, I have tons of other props for other characters that are not on the wall. I have my Alistair staff that my wife has made. As you saw, my Nightwing batons are not actually on the wall. Mostly because I don't have a way to display them safely. I'm working on that, especially with the Alistair tab because it is very fragile. But I started designing this just for, having a nice cool backdrop. I wanted my weapons, I wanted my weapons displayed nicely, and this is what was born of it. So I hope that helped you guys. I have a lot of props. Getting props becomes a big part of being a cosplayer because you got to have props for your cosplays. So I hope that helps you guys with the wall, and any other questions about the wall or where I got them, go ahead and shoot me a message. I will try to reply here in another video. But as always, till next time, later days.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of If You Give a Dad Cosplay. Now, if you like the If You Give a Dad genre, you need to check out the original podcast that's called If You Give a Dad a Podcast, led by Jared, and the spin-off YouTube channel, If You Give a Dad a YouTube channel, hosted by my Parabatai and best friend, Tai Tiger. We are all in association with the Zeo to Hero podcast network. Again, thank you for watching, and till next time, later days! This podcast is a production of the Three Ranger Bros Studios, in association with Zeo to Hero, the podcast.